You guys, an incident went down in Orlando, Florida. Crazy incident outside a nightclub. A man outgrapples 2 police officers and literally drives off, almost killing them or innocent bystanders. We're here in Arlington, Texas, 5-day GST law enforcement certification course. We talked about it, we collaborated, and I couldn't be happier to be sharing it with 80 new certified instructors. They made it happen, you guys. Let's do this. Went down. For those who haven't seen it, it was absolutely crazy. Unbelievable. I'm here with my man Sam Fernandez, Chuck Smith, U.S. Customs and Border Protection. You guys, it went down. We don't see a lot of the setup as to why the altercation or why they were even trying to arrest the man. All you see is the officers, when the camera comes in, the officer in a scuffle with this man outside of the club who appears to have been pulled out or immediately outside of his own vehicle. The scuffle ensues and they're standing up here. So you're the other officer here. So we're kind of grappling. He stands up. Come on the side. He picks this guy up. Relax. Chuck, you're really heavy, bro. Calm down. Okay? So the guy gets under. He picks the guy up. He throws down. Once they throw him to the ground, the suspect literally gets up within a few seconds. Okay, so from here, he literally turns, gets up. Go to your knees. Come on up. He just gets up to his knees. Gets up. They're just kind of grabbing. He gets in his car. He drives off. And just doesn't even care about who's there near the vehicle. Nothing matters. So to have seen a suspect who we can assume had no martial arts training, since most people don't, but it was outside a club situation, to see this guy out-grapple the officers who had him on his back. And we, of course, look at situations like this because when he drove off like a madman, he could have killed one of the officers because he didn't care at all where they were relative to the car, and he could have killed an innocent bystander because he was driving away from cops who were trying to arrest him. So the question is, what part, if any, could training, better defensive tactics, ground control training have played in an altercation like this? And the answer is, every part. Okay, Chuck, lay down right here. Let's talk about some principles here, Sam, regarding the control concepts and the idea that people who don't know ground control, when someone's on their back, they think that's enough. So they might be here, like the officer was, kneeling, grabbing onto the person, and the other guy kind of maybe grabbing a leg, or just kind of like, they were just kind of loose right here. But here's what you guys have to understand. This person who's determined to get away from here, all that matters to them is that they get to their knees and do what's called build the house. He knows nothing else other than turn, go, and build the house and get up. And that's very easy, go back. It doesn't matter if I'm holding Chuck's body as I just was, he can build the house. If I'm holding Chuck's hands, he's gonna build the house.
Even if you're holding his legs.
Yeah, turn, build the house, go. You're not gonna do this, you guys. You're not gonna control this situation. So what's fascinating, the question then becomes, how can an officer immobilize and hold down a suspect when they have the suspect on their back without allowing the opportunity to build the house? And the answer is only one. You must immobilize the hips. Control the wrist, you control nothing. Control the neck, they're coming up. Control the leg, they're coming up. Control the hips. He's like a turtle on his back, and he's not getting up. Now, what we teach here in the GST class, and what we emphasize so much, is the introduction on the side of your firearm. My gun is here, gun side back. This is the position you want to assume to immobilize someone. Because by placing my hip on Chuck's hip, underhooking the outside arm, and of course being controlling here on his body, now his ability to build the house. Try to roll that way, Chuck. Freeze, reach your hand that way. This top hand. This one. Yes, he can't, because it's stuck here. Okay, number one, try to turn into me. Look at the head, boom. He can't turn his shoulders, I have him pinned down. So I push off my feet, driving my hips, keeping him flat on his back. My hips are low, my body's wide. Now, obviously, this is a great, very basic jiu-jitsu concept, but so critical, and people don't know how to use hip pressure unless they've learned hip pressure.
And even if you learn hip pressure as an officer, you might be wary to do that because the suspect can access your weapons.
Yes. So this is the thing, you guys. Defensive tactics and weapon retention must come hand in hand. One without the other is useless. To know how to fight on the ground and not retain control of your weapons is you're throwing your weapons into an altercation that can be used against you. They're available for everyone. Or to get into a fight and be so concerned about your weapons that you don't want to be in the fight. You want to be here controlling the guy, and then the guy gets up, runs away, and drives over innocent civilians possibly.
We call it the 70-30 principle.
Yes, explain that.
70-30 principle. Basically, when we're in the fight, 70% of my attention is on controlling this guy and watching what's going on.
The fight itself.
The fight itself. But 30% is if he begins to go for my weapon, I can't just continue grappling this guy. I have to go 70% to paying attention to this weapon.
So it switches.
And 30% to the fight. So you gotta dance according to the music.
Right. So if the guy's focus is to get up and get out or punch you in the face, 70% on the fight. 30% is always wondering what are his hands doing and where are my weapons relative to his hands. If he shifts his focus to a weapon acquisition focus, 70 goes here to the weapon retention and 30 to the fight itself. So you put your energy where he puts his focus, okay? So to amplify that regarding that weapon retention, you're here, you're controlling. The minute you suspect at all, I'm coming in and I'm walking it north. Reach for my weapon, Chuck. Reach for my weapon, Chuck. Can't. Look at this, you guys. I want my arm in between the suspect's arm and my taser. Now my gun happens to be tucked away on the back hip here, so I'm safe in that regard. But even if it were on this side, the fact that I get my near side underhook and I walk it all the way up to his head right here, bring your arm down. This is tight. Now look, if I needed to, I would mount, advance, and like I have the S grip. Reach for my weapon. Reach for my weapon. Chuck, get up and drive away in your car.
Come on, Chuck.
Come on, Chuck.
You can do it, Chuck.
You guys, here's the thing though. Most people who teach jujitsu to law enforcement teach jujitsu to law enforcement. We teach jujitsu for law enforcement because we now understand that a weapon in the fight, regardless of who brought it in, is both people's opportunity. So as a result, you cannot learn any ground control, any defensive tactics without weapon retention. So these officers in the Orlando incident, we can sit up, bro. These officers are not even at fault for not engaging in a more committed ground fight of control and immobilization. Because if they don't have the weapon retention on the ground, we can't expect them to drop their hips in and immobilize the subject.
Oh yeah, they're putting themselves too at risk.
So weapon retention is the absolute prerequisite to be able to engage in a ground fight confidently and know that even though you're in there, the suspect has no access to your weapons. That's the most important thing. Not only do we practice this here all week long from every position, side mount, mount, back mount, guard, standing, every position, there is a weapon acquisition possibility for the suspect. And for everyone, we have weapon retention concepts. Jiu-jitsu translated for law enforcement. And what's crazy is training saved lives on both sides of the equation. Officers' lives, they keep their weapons from getting taken from them. Suspects' lives, because think about this. Let's just speculate a little bit, because we learn from speculation and possibilities. That guy gets into the car, starts driving off like a madman. Another officer arrives on the scene, sees him running over officers, could possibly use deadly force. It would have been possibly warranted deadly force against the driver of that vehicle because he nearly ran over 2 officers and killed them possibly. So their inability to control at a lower level of force caused the natural escalation of danger in the situation, which would have been warranted deadly force. So ground control, weapon retention, intermediate force reduces the need for deadly force, and it saved lives on both sides of the equation. And you guys, the country is at a place right now where we need this. And in our opinion, the answer is better training. Now the crazy part is the officers don't get to choose their training. These officers did not get to choose to come here. They asked for it, but someone above them had to agree to send them. Someone who sits in a bigger chair and makes decisions for the entire department. And the question is, what's gonna have to happen? Who's gonna have to get run over? Who's gonna have to get shot? Who's gonna have to use deadly force before your department sends someone to come learn, get trained, and go back and get certified, bringing it home to the rest of the troops there? You know, that's the question. Most departments are reactive. They're waiting for something bad to happen in their department to make change. And I don't know what to say about that. So we have certification courses, 5-day courses coming up in California, Coronado with the Navy SEALs there, Kentucky, Pleasanton, California, Michigan. They're all there on the website. We'd love to have you guys there, make it happen. And I don't know, I feel like there are some people at home who have thought about the training, thought about making it happen, but you know, just haven't taken the appropriate steps. And maybe it's because you don't know what's going on in here, and I respect that because you haven't been here yet. But the people who have been here know what's going on. And if their opinion matters at all, you know, hopefully it can help you or help your chief or help someone take that step, the necessary action to get someone certified in your department to take these techniques home. So for your benefit, I will ask you guys, was this the most productive, informative, and realistic defensive training program you've ever taken in your lives?
Yes, sir!
Would you recommend this training for every officer watching?
Yes, sir!
Does my man Sam Fernandez have the nicest hair in the room?
Yes, sir!
You guys, they don't lie. Much respect. Congratulations to all you guys. We did it. We'll see you guys next time. That's what's up.